Hello, everybody. All right, so we've got we've got a Rise update, yeah, but I don't know. The thumbnail, the title, I'm probably gonna put something like, "Bruh, what happened to Joker?" So, an Australian site released the images of the back of the boxes. Now it's kind of weird because you would think we would just have the images of the front boxes by now, but no. It's really weird how these images get released. But yeah, so first let's go over the least important thing, the ones I like the least criticism for. It's Glyph Dragon. This is Hasbro's Grand Dragon. That's what the back looks like. The new tip looks interesting. The stats are 4 and 2, I believe. Let me see what the 4 and 2 are for, because I did actually save the image. So it has, let me see, it has a 4 in runtime. That means it's gonna move around the brink a lot, and it doesn't have too much in drop-in, meaning that when it comes down for those attacks, it's not gonna really do it that much. So that means that, yeah, it'll ride around the brink a lot. Its hits aren't gonna be too strong when it comes back down. I guess that would make sense. It is obviously a stamina layer base. A little closer look at the tip and everything, right? First off, the stats, by the way, just so you can see a little better look. But for the layer base, the only criticism I have is just the deck kind of sucks. You know, I don't know why we can't get, like, still to this day, after so many years, like a proper deck for this stuff, where, you know, like, why can't you just fill out the rest of the parts on the thing? Is it that, like, is it just too costly? Like, really? Like, it really looks so plain. It just looks like the Grand Layer base without the stickers on it, which is kind of, whatever. Anyways, the tip does look pretty cool. It's not charged, because charge was TH08, something like that. Yeah, TH08, I'm pretty sure. Looks interesting. I don't even know what the tip is. I don't know if it's going to be like an old tip with a different name. Is it going to be called Charged Hypersphere? Who knows? Who knows? My prediction actually for Glyph Dragon is that if it's anything like Rock Dragon, it's definitely going to be an improvement. It'll probably be decently tight with the slopes and everything. And I do think this is one of the releases that will like do better for stock combos anyways against TAKARA TOMY. Because if you've seen my videos before reviewing Rock Dragon Hasbro, beat TAKARA TOMY like ease. So in some cases, Hasbro can, you know, even though you can say, oh, maybe they botched the release, or oh, they did this, they didn't do that. You know, sometimes the releases actually manage to be on par with the original, or even beat the original. Not every single release, but in most cases, But for Glyph Dragon, other than it just doesn't visually look too cool, I think the performance will be there. I think it'll be cool. And I also do have to, I do like the fact that even though we literally got Rock Dragon has the same stock as Ace, you know, now this time around, hopefully this is for the future, anytime there's a base with multiple layer bases, well, there's actually only one more, which was Erase, they'll just do a thing where they just give it a new tip, which I think is a more of an incentive to buy it, because, you know, for me, if I'm a consumer, I don't want to, like, okay, I want to buy this, but, like, other than layer base, and I'm not really getting any new parts for the thing, now at least they're getting a new tip. Moving on to Judgment Joker, which confirms a lot, and oh boy. So this is the back of the box for Joker. Put a little bit closer. First off, the stats are 1 and 5, meaning that it will not go around the brink too much, but the drop-in frequency is really high stats, meaning that it's gonna have some pretty good hits on it when it's dropping down. So that shouldn't be any surprise for those who know what Judgment Joker is. There is a super big nerf to Hasbro's Joker. First of all, let's ignore the fact that Joker doesn't have the rubber on the thing, right? First, I expected that when Geist Fafnir didn't have the rubber, Wizard didn't have the rubber, Joker, no rubber. Like, we expected that. But for the love of God, they didn't even give it the stopper on the thing. So if you don't know, the Japanese TAKARA TOMY release, Judgment had a little stopper on the thing. The whole point of that stopper was what made Judgment so useful, right? Because Judgment is crazy hits and there's all this recoil that comes from it, right? And if that stopper is gone, that's gonna really eliminate all kind of like the oomph that Joker had. Like, I still think Joker will probably for Hasbro still give like good hits, but it's gonna be a lot easier to burst Joker. I think that's a little bit disappointing in that regard. Like, okay, no rubber, fine, whatever. No stopper on the thing too. Like, they really couldn't have molded that thing in plastic and just put it on there. This really does make me fear for future releases, since layer bases are now getting their gimmicks eliminated. For an example, gimmicky layer bases have been Pegasus, where the whole thing, if the gimmick's like similar to like Balkesh in a way. Speaking of Balkesh, Dusk Balkesh, probably not gonna have the gimmick of the layer thing where you turn it and then after the shield comes out, which, you know, really fearful for that. And it's just like sort of like this thing where like I'm a little bit confused. Like, okay, if they don't want to do the metal on the thing and they're not doing the plastic, whatever, and they want to do these gimmicky tips, right? Okay, that's fine. But it's like getting to the point now where it's actually more than turbo. Where like, why are like the whole like gimmick or purpose of the thing is just gone. And I'm not even talking about the tips, like just like the layer bases themselves. Now, of course, we have not seen Dusk Balkesh yet. Heaven Pegasus, obviously not yet. So it's not fair to judge. So we have to still wait and see. I do predict, probably gonna not look like it's gonna have any of the gimmicks on the thing. For the tips, at this point, like, at Slingshot, I cared a lot, and now it just happened so much, I can barely care at this point. It is what it is, and I did say this before, they are trying to make their own identity with their bays. Now it's, instead of it being based on the anime, it's more loosely based on the anime, I guess. It's more like their own take on the thing. So, speaking of their own take on the thing, we get a look at Trick Hypersphere. So they did kind of do what I said they were going to do. I basically predicted the Trick Hypersphere to be some sort of middleman between the thing. I don't think Trick would have the gimmick. Obviously, it's not going to have the gimmick of the thing, but it does have the shape of it. So my idea is going to be, you know how like it goes from being like balanced to attack and it switches, sometimes I accidentally say defense, whatever, right? You know, like switches like in between the battles. I think the shape of it is going to be sort of in the middle where it kind of has the tip on the thing. So if you do like a regular launch, it'll probably just stay normal. If you do a hard launch, it'll be an aggressive attack thing. So Trick will probably be somewhere like that. And in this case, I'm honestly kind of all right with it. In this case, you know, like obviously for a lot of tips, I'll be like, oh, why can't you do it like that? But then after when you look at Slingshot, and basically technically speaking, Slingshot has all these tips that are Slingshot, but not actually any of those tips that are actually regular released. And it's like the same with Hypersphere. So at least if they're able to find a way to sort of mimic the gimmick in some way, I'm okay with it then. Like, this is like the only real case I could really think of where Hypersphere kind of like, you know, when they're emulating the gimmick of the thing, they're not doing that bad of a job. I guess also kind of keep Hypersphere, kind of. Trick Hypersphere, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Trick, you know, in general, is not really, Trick's not a good tip, like, in general. Still though, I should mention it like this. You know, just because a part wasn't that good doesn't mean, you know, it's still not kind of like a bad thing that we're not getting the normal version of it or the gimmick of it. But also, you know, if it's an improved version over the original, there's no point in crying over it, right? So it really just depends. Like Quest, I was kind of upset when Hasbro didn't do Quest right, but then after I thought, you know, Quest really did suck. So like, if it's just an aggressive tip now, not really that bad. Kind of sucks. But for the rest of it, I've kind of already talked about it. Big sad, by the way, I forgot to even say this. There's no turn frame. What? You couldn't put a turn frame on. You couldn't put a frame on the thing. Now I know what people are gonna say. Oh, they can't. You can't put a frame because with Hypersphere the frames scrape. Okay, this is the same thing with Slingshot, right? Same argument. Look, they couldn't just put in the instructions. Yeah, make sure when you're battling, take off the frame. And it does suck, like Excalius with the dagger frame. I know people are gonna say with the Excalius thing. In the Japanese release, Excalius never came with dagger. Dagger was on another release. Same thing with Fafnir's Proof, same thing with Extempos. Look, that's all fine and dandy, but you gotta realize that Hasbro is not TAKARA TOMY. TAKARA TOMY does their own format of releases, Hasbro does their own format of releases, right? You don't see Hasbro releasing Turbo Spryzen with On Guard and Rocktavor and Lunar, right? No, you don't see it like that. So that's why I'm really confused that, you know, we still got the release of Turn through Dread Hades, but it's just the idea that why do these parts gotta always keep on getting skipped out? Because, like, the list is just adding up. You got Dagger from Turbo that's missing, Extend Plus that's missing, the Proof Frame, which is missing. Still, I don't even think we have a 3-disc, Forge disc, or an Ultimate Reboot, and we're probably not going to get Ultimate Reboot at all, considering how Hypersphere is going from this route. It just piles up, and it's like, come on. My prediction for Hasbro'S Judgement, anyways, I think you're either gonna get 2 likely scenarios. 1, bombs. It's not good. Slopes are kind of okay, but the nerfs do not help it at all. Ends up not doing that well. Or, more likely, they'll make it to where maybe Trick has a good spring on the tip, and maybe Joker has some pretty good slopes, so even though it doesn't have the complete, you know, oomph that Judgment had, it'll at least have enough to probably be able to beat TAKARA TOMY. Not do crazy good, probably be like decent. I still have like the smallest hope, because considering how Hasbro is able to improve Rock Dragon, I feel like they can't really botch up Judgment. Which, by the way, I'm also happy the name is Judgment. I thought all the fan made up names like Judge or Joker and all that dumb stuff. No, it's just called Judgment. Good. So that's it for my thoughts on the stuff. This was off an Australian site. You tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Again, I am trying to be a little bit impartial here. Obviously, I'm going to give my own takes on the stuff. I still think, at the end of it all, they could still, like, until the product is physically in my hand, I cannot say 100% it's going to be bad or 100% it's going to be great, right? I can assume by looking at the pictures, but, you know, assumptions, not really physical proof at the end of the day, so we just got to wait. And, yeah, that's going to be it for now. Hopefully, we eventually get pictures, for Balkish and all that stuff, and Divalos. I really want to see how they're going to do Bullet Hypersphere. My idea, before any pictures come out, is that Bullet Hypersphere will most likely be something like Rise in the mold. I don't think Bullet's going to have the gimmick at all for Hypersphere. I think he'll have a shape where it's sort of like Fafnir's Rise, and there'll just be a little stubby thing on the bottom. Maybe that's all we get. The only other reality I could maybe see them doing Bullet Hypersphere is if, for some reason, like, when Bullet comes out, it's all plastic, but, like, it's like a mini Hypersphere tip that comes out. That's, like, the only other thing I can think of. But that's it for now. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day today. Whenever more news comes out, stay tuned on this channel. Obviously, if you're new here, I report on TAKARA TOMY and Hasbro news whenever it drops. And that'll be it for now. Thank you all for watching. As I keep on saying, and have a nice day.